I don't know if there's any quarterback in the country with as much hype as Dante Moore, number 5, the Michigan Detroit native. The dude is delivering on the hype. And is he the best quarterback in the country? From Dan Lanning, the words, I think he might be. We're going to get it is too early with him, but I am really impressed. Let's go through some film here with the young man Dante Moore showing a little Jordan Love vibes over here with a little spin around, deep throw, nice pass by the young man Dante Moore. I think that the big thing with Dante Moore, you can tell he needed a season behind a veteran like Dylan Gabriel, strike over the middle there on that deep post. Now here he does throw in a little bit of tight double coverage deep, but at least he puts it in a spot where only his receiver can get it. Misses this one here over the middle of the field, sails it over the middle. I do want to say with his arm talent real quick, and we'll get into some more of this here in a bit, but I think his arm talent isn't like Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen. You see that ball kind of falls flat. You don't really see that from a Josh Allen or a Patrick Mahomes that much. He's more in the Jordan Love, maybe a little less than CJ Stroud level arm talent. Good enough to get the job done, by all means. I still think he's got above average arm and everything like that, but maybe not an elite arm. Love this throw here. This is an NFL throw. This is what you see on Sundays. And this is something where when you're a quarterback, you have to be able, when the first read isn't there, let's say, all right, he's starting off to the left, the linebacker takes away up the seams, he comes back here, no panic. I think his poise in the pocket is his greatest strength right now. Comes back there on that 15-yard dig, delivers a laser beam. You see these all the time, and I think that he can do this at a very high level. His confidence in the pocket is what separates him right now. A little comeback route, nice throw, on the money, on time, a little play extension right here. You see that from him. We're going to see that in the Penn State game in a minute too. Look at this. Whoa, right up the seams to Kenyon Sadiq for a laser touchdown. I really love his poise in the pocket, though. Oh, there's a nice little throw on the run as well. He's really accurate on the run. Play action. He does miss this one. This is a missed read here. Throws a little bit of like triple coverage. This is a cover 2. He sees cover 2, and he's like, all right, I'm going to take that middle of the field shot. The problem is, does he have that elite arm where he can kind of like laser that thing in? Maybe just lets that thing, see the pass a little wobbly, puts a little bit too much air under it. Linebacker's able to get underneath that. So that's where I come back to the arm talent, just being out. But it's a rare miss from him up the seams. Typically doesn't miss a whole ton of those. His Oregon State tape, to me, was his worst out of any of his tape right now. He had a couple of bad decisions. This one on 4th and 7. I mean, it was hot, so he had to get the ball out, but still. That one, I think, got tipped. But anyway, overall, like going back to, clearly he needed a year to develop behind Dylan Gabriel, because at UCLA, he didn't look like this. He looks like a different quarterback, and I've been super impressed. It is still early in the season. That's why we can't go too crazy, but he is a first-round player, and I think he is one of the best quarterbacks. According to Dan Lanning, I agree with it. Very good. There's a strike to Sadiq. You're going to see that guy quite a bit out here. They got some studs at receiver, too. Any which way, here's the one show that's for his legs. He is not the most dynamic scrambler, but he can definitely fake you out here and there. He had a nice play. We'll show one versus Penn State in a minute, but I think he has enough wheels to be able to get the job done, pick up a first down. You give him a lane, like he'll take it. He's very reactive too. There's a nice little post up the middle there, but he's very reactive as an athlete. I think another thing separates him is his ability to get the ball out on time and his time. Oh, there's Sadiq. That's a little bit of a Sadiq highlight, but also showing off the arm angles with Dante Moore. But you see, he stays calm in the pocket. He gets the ball out on time. He feels pressure around him. This was a little bit where his mechanics, let's actually go back to this one, because for the most part, I think his mechanics are really, really good. Sometimes, look at this. He doesn't quite step into the throw here. This one delivers up high. And we see that a couple of times throughout the film. But overall, when he gets his mechanics right like that, 4th and 1, great throw, play action. I love the scheme, too, that they deployed Oregon this year. It's been a great, fun watch. This receiver gave up a little bit, tight coverage, a little bit of a double cover throw right there. So, once again, he's not a perfect prospect. He's got some things he still needs to improve upon, the processing and all that sort of thing. He's a little bit short there on that throw, but generally speaking, I think he's been very, very impressive. Here's highlighting that play extension once again. Let's go back to this, because I think that's something he has really thrived on this season thus far. You see Isaiah World, left tackle, get beat by Denny Dennis, maybe a little bit of holding there. Play extension, even the right side gets beat. He finds Sadiq running open over the middle of the field. Great throw, great play. When the things break down, you got to be able to make, especially in the NFL nowadays, you got to be able to make a play. Here's another one, a good example of that. Great touch. That's a great touch pass right there. He's trying to break a little play extension, makes the defender miss, almost picking up the first down. Here's a critical 3rd and 3. Keep the drive moving, picks it up there. And then here's a 2nd and 6 where he just, mechanics once again go hooray. As I mentioned earlier, sometimes it does happen even with the best of quarterbacks. I love that little comeback over there. Slant. Game on the line. 4th and 1 here. And you got to pick this up or Penn State wins. A good blocking here too by Isaiah World and the left guard, Pagone. But anyway, picks it up. Here's that little shimmy right there. And what a great throw. That is being bada. Boom! Oregon, let's go. I love it. The 2-point conversion. Hey, this is one where he looks to the right, doesn't see Sadiq there, comes back, misses Sutton there. And Sutton's done this a couple of times. You know what I mean? So recapping it up here with Dante Moore, Oregon quarterback. He delivered in the biggest game of the season thus far for Oregon versus Penn State. Absolutely. This is what we wanted to see. Go into Penn State. That is one of the toughest environments to play in all of college football. I don't care who you play for. When you play in that Penn State whiteout situation, tough, tough, tough. He delivered. Wasn't perfect, but very good and very clutch when he needed to make a play. He made a play. Now, with his accuracy, I think his short accuracy is very good. His middle and deep accuracy would be the one nitpick here. I saw he missed a couple of throws in that Penn State game over the middle and the Oregon State game, the deep middle of the field. So those are all things. Northwestern, the underthrow, that comes more into an arm talent sort of thing in a processing standpoint in that Tampa 2 and stuff like that. But generally speaking, I think his accuracy has been very much above average. Anything in a B range or above is above average for me. I really feel like his general accuracy, all 3 levels of the field, has been very, very good this year. And his sideline touch passes, his comeback routes, his back shoulder throws, all very, very good. And he's also very good on the move, accurate. I haven't really seen him miss a pass. I could even move up that great. Some of this is just, I need to see a little more of it and maybe go back to some of the freshman tape at UCLA. You mix some of that in there too. But generally speaking, he has been exceptional this year. The arm talent, as I mentioned earlier, I would call it more of like the 2nd tier to 3rd tier of arm talent. It's definitely not in the Staffords, the Allens, the Herberts, the Mahomes, but it gets the job done. He'll be fine. I'm not worried about his arm talent. He's got enough velocity to be able to come back and deliver a throw, on a corner or a comeback dig, all those sort of things. His release too is nice. I think he's got a quick release. I think his flexibility, his arm's very good. We saw some sidearm stuff out there that he was able to change his arm ankles to maneuver around defenders. His touch passing's pretty dang good as well. His scrambling ability, I don't think he's an elite scrambler, but you give him a lane, he'll definitely make you pay. And just like Jordan Love, I think he is going to be in that sort of an athleticism profile. Not an elite athlete. He's not going to be Jaden Daniels, but he will be able to be somebody like, if you don't spy him and you're playing man coverage and it's 3rd and 10 and you give him up the seams, he's going to go pick that up. And his break sacking ability, he's not the biggest guy. I need to see more of that. I haven't really seen a whole ton of him having to even break a whole ton of sacks because he typically stays in the pocket. He's a pocket passer and he gets the ball out on time. But he's a little bit thin, so he might still need to pick up a little bit of weight and get a little bit stronger. So those are all things he can work on. But his pocket presence, his blitzer feel, very, very good, very impressive. I think he is just so calm in the pocket. Doesn't panic. He isn't escaping pockets prematurely or anything like that. His play extension, very solid. Ball security, only seen him fumble, I think, once. And that was like on a run, something, but it was kind of on him. It was a tough call. Either which way, ball security's been very good. And the offensive line, too, is pretty good. They've been allowing him a lot of protection. Mental side of the ball, I also think is above average, even though people are going to call him for power process. And I get it. I still think there's some things we talked about with the Northwestern stuff or that one on the corner route in the Penn State throw coming. Those are a couple of them that come to mind. Oregon State had a couple of them in general. But overall, I think his processing, his decision-making are pretty good. I don't think it's like a major problem, especially when you're comparing him to some other prospects out there for sure. anticipation too. I think he's a pretty good anticipator. I thought he had some really nice, especially on the sideline throws. Okay, maybe he can get a little bit more anticipatory over the middle, but I think he's pretty dang good in that department. I saw a lot of throws where the ball was out when the receivers were breaking. So I might even move up the anticipation to a B plus. He's very, very solid in that department. I think his anticipation is definitely a strength to his game, even at this point. So that's kind of my view with Dante Moore. I really like him, and it's not just because I'm a Ducks fan. I think he's a good player. Sometimes you're harder on your favorite teams, and for me to like Dante Moore as I do, I'm really excited. And right now, I feel fully confident that this guy is a first round prospect at the moment. Once again, it is early. I might be eating my words, but I'm really rooting for Dante Moore. And he's even got his own book out there too. Gus Johnson even narrating it a little bit at times. Man, that'd be a great one. And he's got to get Gus Johnson to narrate the book out here. I think you're going to be selling a ton of copies, Dante Moore. But let's go. I hope you guys have a great day. Let me know what you think on the young man Dante Moore.